Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. My son got a new toy. He got a Emeril Lagasse, Air Fryer Plus. It's like a pressure cooker fryer or air fryer, sautés, makes yogurt. It does like 10 different things. So we're gonna make some Brussels sprouts in it, and we're also gonna make some wings, some barbecued wings in it. So y'all hang tight, we'll get going. We're gonna use this Emeril Lagasse Pressure Air Fryer Plus. This is a 6-quart cooker, and the first thing we're gonna do for our wings is I've got 4 pounds, and it's just 4 pounds of Proctor Party Wings. It says first and second chicken wing sections. So I'm going to put all 4 pounds in here. And it's below the fill line. Looks like this is about all you can probably put in there is 4 pounds at a time. And then I'm going to put the pressure cooker lid on. Okay, and then I slid it to locked. So your arrow lines up here and here, and then turn it where you can see it better. All right, so we are going to pressure cook. If you air fry, you push this button. It's got a steam button, slow cook button. You can make yogurt with it, and I don't even know how you say this, sous vide or whatever. I've never done that before. And then you can saute in it, and you can stew in it. So we're cooking chicken. We're using the pressure cooker lid, so I'm going to put it on here. Should be about 4 minutes for each pound, so we're going to cook it for 16 minutes. So I'm going to put timer, and we'll increase it to that, and then it'll automatically start cooking under pressure for 16 minutes. And then we'll take them out and see what they look like. The pressure cooker has done its thing, and I'm just letting it kind of do a slow release right now. So what I have here is Gracie, is a 1 1/3 cups of barbecue sauce. And y'all, I've just taken what's left in the fridge. We had some Hunt's mesquite molasses, so I emptied that. And we had some Kraft sweet brown sugar, so I emptied that. And then I finished it out with the Pioneer Woman Frontier barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to mix all that together. They're all good, so kind of all in the same scope, if you want to say. Now this recipe calls for 1/4 cup of bourbon. I don't have bourbon, I don't drink. But you can take, and like for a tablespoon of bourbon, you can use a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon of vanilla in. Stir that up. And then it calls for a teaspoon of paprika. And this recipe is for 3 pounds, and I'm using 4 pounds. So I've got actually a teaspoon and 1/3 of paprika. And then it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of ground cayenne pepper. So I have a little over 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper, red pepper. And you can make that as hot as you want to. I don't like things real hot, so I kind of backed off on that a little bit because it technically would have been 1/4 and 1/8 of a teaspoon. So I actually just used and then a tablespoon dark brown sugar. I only have light brown sugar. Calls for a tablespoon, so I've got a tablespoon and a teaspoon because 1 teaspoon is 1/3 of a tablespoon. And then it calls for a teaspoon of salt. So I've got a teaspoon and then like about 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt, and then it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. So I've got 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and I just kind of put a little extra in there, kind of eyeballed it. And then it calls for syrup. Now this calls for a tablespoon of maple syrup. I don't have any maple. I'm just going to use some dark Karo syrup. My husband usually has molasses, and that's what I was going to put in there, but apparently he's out. But it calls for a tablespoon, so I'm going to use a tablespoon and a teaspoon. And I'm not being especially exact with these measurements because it's not like bacon. It's more of a taste thing, you know. I have to get more of this before it's time to make pecan pies. Ariel makes the best pecan pie, in my opinion, my humble opinion. So I'm just going to stir this up while the ribs are slowly releasing natural pressure. Now when these ribs get done And when that gets done, I'll come back and we're going to take these out and put them on a plate. And then we're going to put the sauce on them and put them back in. And I'm just going to kind of let them saute a little bit. What we're going to do right now is we're going to saute some Brussels sprouts. So I've quartered the Brussels sprouts, cut the ends off. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the bottom of the cooking pan. This is a 6-quart cooker. I think it also comes in an 8-quart. Put half of these Brussels sprouts in here. And saute them up. So I'll put a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm going to add just a little bit of red pepper flake. So now we're just going to wait on the Brussels sprouts. I'm just going to cook these till they're caramelized. So I used about 2½ teaspoons of bacon grease. I fried up some bacon already to put in the Brussels sprouts, so I just used the grease to keep cooked. Let me check my temperature. I think I'm going to lower that temperature to 340. And I'll caramelize this half, then I'll take these out and add the other half and caramelize them. Put them back together. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some garlic. I'm going to add just a ½ teaspoon, so I'm going to put 6 of these in there. 6 teaspoon ones. My son just opened this. He got it for Christmas. He just opened it last week. So I've been kind of playing with it. I just can't believe it does so many things. And I'll post a picture of the box so you can see what all it says it does. But I'm curious to know how you can make yogurt in it. I guess I never really thought about how you make yogurt. Bring you up here so you can see inside. So I'm going to finish sauteing these and caramelizing them, and then I'm going to put the other ones in, and when they all get cooked, I'll bring you back and show you what else I do to them. They're all in there now, and I just got them simmering in there a little bit together. So I've turned the pot off, or the cooker. I'm going to put these in a bowl. I'm going to take some Italian style cheese. Sprinkle that on top. And then I've got some crumbled up bacon. And I bet you my son could eat this whole bowl all by himself. He loves Brussels sprouts cooked this way. But he's going to have to share tonight. There's 4 of us eating. We probably needed 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts, huh? So that's what it looks like. And it's really tasty. And even if you don't like Brussels sprouts, it's really good this way. So, okay. So I made some fries. And y'all, fries are super simple. You just use the air fryer lid. You set your temperature to 400. You cook them for 5 minutes. You stop it. You stir them around a little bit, move them around a little bit in the pan. It says shake them around, I think. Cook them for 5 more minutes, and they are so crispy. We've got our Brussels sprouts with our cheese and our bacon and garlic. And then I cooked some I keep on calling them ribs, wings, and I used 4 pounds instead of 3. So I set the pressure cooker to 16 minutes because I was thinking, okay, if it's 12 minutes for 3 pounds, then I would add 4 more minutes for the next pound. Don't do that. 12 minutes is sufficient. They are literally falling off the bone. So I was gonna put them in the sauce and then put them in the air fryer and crisp them up, but I was afraid they would just fall off the rack or fall through the little rack you put them on. So they're good like they are, so that's how we're eating them tonight. So I'll perfect that, and then I'll record that for you. But anyway, this is our dinner for tonight. Just waiting on the boys to get home. They both get off at 8 tonight. that's what we're having tonight. I'm really enjoying this cooker. I've just got to learn more about using it because, you know, I'm just a stove kind of girl. I don't even like to cook in the microwave. I think we're really going to enjoy it. I'm glad he got it as a gift because it's not something I would have bought. We're enjoying it, and that's all that matters, I guess. Y'all have a good night. Once again, thanks for joining me. And like I always say, you can be anything. Be kind. Stay safe. Bye, y'all.